topic is voter ID. We're spending the full hour on it with our guest Steven Singer in studio with us. He's got an online petition with thousands of signatures opposed to it. And State Representative Bill Court's on the phone in Dravosburg. And Amy, if you can get a close-up on Steven's tie here, just because it looks like a Father's Day gift or something like that. On his tie are images of his daughter, right?
That's right.
His daughter. So we had to point that out because she's probably watching you right now.
Probably.
All right, what's her name?
Desi.
There you go, Desi. That's time. Did you get that for Father's Day?
I think I did, actually.
Oh, that's a cool thing. All right, let's go back to the phones. And Wendy in Bellevue, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Well, thank you.
I don't know. I just want to say, it's like that. I actually think it's insulting to minorities that you would assume that this would disenfranchise them. And I'm like, if you can afford a cell phone, you can, certainly afford an ID. And I'm all in favor of these because I think it would. It's like I don't want my vote suppressed by somebody that shouldn't be voting. And I'll tell you a personal story. 4 years ago, during the primary, I'm a registered Republican. And I went to my polling place where I go every year and was given a Democratic ballot. And it's like, it's like, excuse me, you gave me the wrong ballot.
Mm-hmm. But they caught it, right?
No, they didn't catch it.
You caught it.
I caught the fact that and she walked away, and I'm like, wait a minute.
All right. Simple mistake, or let's get to the bigger point. Thank you for the call, Wendy. For you, Bill Courts and Steven, is it insulting to minorities to suggest that they're not smart enough or don't have the wherewithal to get out there and get a voter ID by November 6th?
I don't think it has anything to do with intelligence or wherewithal. I mean, facts are facts. I can tell you, like I said, I teach in a district that has a large portion, about 60% minorities. A lot of the parents of my students don't have the proper ID. It's hard whenever you're working 2 or 3 jobs to get to the PennDOT or wherever you need to go to get the ID, to have the documentation. To get them, it can be very difficult to do that. You have to take off work, and it's hard for anybody.
But don't those parents have to have identification to bring their kids to enroll them in their school?
Not photo ID. You just have to prove residency.
Okay. Let's go to George and Beaver. Hello, George. You're on Night Talk.
Yes, I like the idea of voter ID because, you had a politician, a Democrat politician, I think his name was Bill.
Yes, he's still here.
He was the second, because his father had the same name, and he said he probably would be turned down. Well, I don't think the polling place would turn him down in the first place.
Right.
And I hope he's listening, because I wanted to tell him he had to grow up, because he just has to change his ID on his driver's license and get a life.
All right. Thank you for the call, George. We've got to move along. Bill Courts, would you like to respond to that in 30 seconds?
Yeah, George, that's an interesting comment. George, you know what, I'd say this. I think that every legal, eligible American has the right to vote. That's what our Constitution guarantees. And for us to take it to this level, to say your middle initial isn't the same, so you can't vote. The chief paramedic, his wife over here in West Mifflin, that very thing's happening because her middle initial isn't right. They told her in the primary she won't be allowed to vote come November. I mean, they can take this real technical and prevent legal, eligible American citizens from voting.
Representative Bill Courts, we've got a break, Bill. Thank you for being with us. Steven Singer, signon.org to sign your petition against this voter ID law. Thank you for coming in with us. Thank you for watching Night Talk on PCNC. I'm Mike Romine.